The aircraft you are about to learn about was never meant to be seen. It was never meant to be photographed. And for most of its life, it officially did not exist. Yet for decades, it flew higher and faster than anything else on Earth, crossing entire continents in a single mission, outrunning every missile ever fired at it and returning home untouched. This is the State Route 71 Blackbird. And even today, long after its retirement, many of its secrets remain classified. One of the most mind-blowing facts about the State Route 71 is that it was designed to leak fuel. Not as a flaw, not as a mistake, but on purpose. On the ground, the Blackbird leaked fuel from its tanks constantly. Crew members watched fuel drip onto the tarmac before every flight. This was normal. This was expected. The reason was heat. At cruising speed, the SR-71's skin heated to hundreds of degrees due to air friction. The aircraft literally expanded while flying. If the fuel tanks were sealed tightly on the ground, they would rupture in the air. So engineers designed the aircraft to seal itself only once it reached operating temperature. The plane didn't stop leaking fuel until it was already flying at Mach 3. Another astonishing fact is that the State Route 71 was built almost entirely out of titanium. At the time, titanium was rare, expensive, and extremely difficult to work with. The United States didn't even have enough access to it. So the CIA quietly purchased titanium from the one place no one would expect: the Soviet Union. Through shell companies and intermediaries, the US bought titanium from its Cold War enemy and used it to build the very aircraft that would spy on them. The State Route 71 routinely flew missions over hostile territory at altitudes above 80,000 feet. That's higher than most commercial planes can even climb. At that height, the sky darkens. The curvature of the Earth becomes visible. And pilots wore full-pressure suits similar to astronauts. If the cockpit depressurized, the pilot would lose consciousness in seconds. The aircraft was so fast that it did not rely on evasive maneuvers to escape danger. It simply accelerated. Over 4,000 missiles were fired at SR-71s during their operational life. None ever hit one. When a missile launch was detected, the pilot didn't turn, didn't dive, didn't deploy countermeasures. They pushed the throttles forward and flew away. The Blackbird could outrun its own missile warnings. Another unbelievable fact is that the State Route 71 actually got faster as it flew. The engines were designed to operate more efficiently at higher speeds. At Mach 3+, much of the engine's thrust came not from combustion but from shock waves. The aircraft was closer to a rocket than a jet. At top speed, the engines glowed red hot, and the metal skin expanded several inches. The State Route 71 set world records that still stand today. Speed records, altitude records, time to target records. It could fly from New York to London in under 2 hours. It could cross the continental United States faster than most people commute to work. And it did this in the 1960s. One of the strangest facts is that State Route 71 pilots were often told nothing about their missions until just before takeoff. They knew where to fly, how long to stay, and when to return, but not always what they were photographing. Information was compartmentalized to an extreme degree.
Oh man. Whoa. Yeah. Gorgeous. Oh boy, look at that. Oh, mercy.
Get your camera out! There's a Harrier out there hovering over the runway.
Boy, he stopped already. Chopper 7 moved in right over top of him.